Can the New York Giants make it 2 wins in a row? We're taking on the New Orleans Saints ahead of Sunday's matchup. Jackson Dart looking to make his first road start against the New Orleans Saints after coming up in a victory against the undefeated Los Angeles Chargers. I'm excited for this Giants game, man. It's good to have some energy back and good to have some good vibes trending back with the New York Giants after a disastrous start. And pretty soon, man, if the Giants find a way to win this game, which I do believe so, if they find a way to win, they'll be sitting at 2-3. 2 wins in a row, undefeated since the rookie quarterback steps in. I'm at a loss for words just even thinking about it, but let's get there to Sunday. Let's talk about how the Giants can get it done. First of all, shout out to my man Jackson Dart. Shout out to the offense last week for showing some type of life, but ultimately the defense is really sealed things, but the offense putting up a fight is what led to this team winning, man. The offense being able to put up at least 20 points. When we know this defense can contain offenses a bit and at least hold them to a lower scoring affair compared to the rest of the league. Now, that Cowboys game was an outlier for this defense, and hopefully they don't run into something like that again or don't have a showing like that again. But the D-line got after against the Chargers, so I'm expecting them to do the same thing against the New Orleans Saints. If you're asking me what is the keys to victory, every week is going to be the same thing when we talk about this defensive line. This defensive line, man. Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Dexter Lawrence is always going to be the focal point if we're going to win this game. Every game we match up with, but especially against this New Orleans Saints, who does have some missing players on the offensive side of the ball, especially on the offensive line. And they're starting Spencer Rattler, who I believe, I've been seeing a stat being thrown out there. I don't think Spencer Rattler has got a win as being the starting quarterback from the New Orleans Saints yet. So let's hope that this Giants defense and the Giants team aren't the first ones to lose to Spencer Rattler when he starts a game. But talking about the key matchups with that offense, you got Shaheed, you got Chris Olave, and you got Alvin Kamara. You got playmakers on that side of the ball, but ultimately the defense needs to try to suffocate that quarterback and ultimately just restrict life out of that offense, man. They know Alvin Kamara is going to be towing the rock. They're going to be passing it to Alvin Kamara as well. Obviously, Chris Olave, I think, is one of the better young receivers in this league, but unfortunately, he just hasn't had good quarterback play. And I hope the Giants DBs aren't the guys to let that happen in this matchup. When you think about Spencer Rattler, he was even going off in a press conference pretty much talking about our defense a little bit, and some people felt like he was slighting our defense. But with some of the things that he was talking about, it was kind of true. Just pretty much saying that we don't really disguise coverages. We play straight up, and those DBs kind of just line up there and go. And out of Deonte Banks, hopefully Banks can have a better showing. He made some plays last week, but also some boneheaded scratching plays previously as well. You would hope that Deonte Banks makes more of a presence felt in this game. Paulson Adebo, I'm looking for his first interception, and will it come against his former team? He was formerly a New Orleans Saint prior to entering free agency and joining the New York Giants. So can he find a way to get his first interception against his former team? And Andrew Phillips, man, he's a topic of conversation every game, whether it's good or bad. Last week, he had a standout performance, another interception, but also locking down his receivers that he was guarding. And Andrew Phillips, we need another good game out of you. If we could see Shaheed being locked up in the slot a little bit by Andrew Phillips, I would love to see that, or even matchups with Chris Olave. Andrew Phillips is looking like one of our younger stars, is starting to ascend a little bit, and everyone's starting to really know who his name is, which is Andrew Phillips. I'm hoping we see something out of him, especially against this tough wide receivers, man. I'll be honest. They're not the most talented. When you go against the NFC East, you got talented receivers everywhere, but especially against the Giants defense is facing them every week. Shaheed and Chris Olave might not be any other receiver in our division, but there's still no slouches either, man. But once again, Abdul Carter, can he get his first sack? The man said that he wasn't going to get a haircut until he got his first solo sack. I don't know if he's staying true to that, but he hasn't had his first one yet. But he pressured, I believe the stat was 10 pressures last week, which is insane. Got to find a way to get that man to the ground and especially lock in his first sack. Brian Burns has been probably one of the best, if not the best pass rusher this year. It's a shame that the Giants have a 1-3 record to show for it. But hopefully as the season continues on and everyone says that this schedule is tough, inserting the new quarterback has given this team a little bit of new life. And if they can find a way to win 2 games in a row, man, you got to start changing at least what you think about this team a little bit. Now, switching on to the offensive side of the ball, we know Malik Nabers is unfortunately out for the rest of the season. That definitely hurts to see, especially coming from a big Malik Neighbors fan. I was telling you guys all offseason, man, he's top three in the league. When you lose a weapon like that, the offense is definitely going to take a hit. But can Jackson Dart continue to make strides and continue to better himself with his development plan, playing against defenses, and ultimately starting to show his arm at least a little bit? The guy threw for 111 yards last week, and I'm not going hard on him on it. It was his first start against a good Chargers defense. But we're going to have to see his arm get tested. That's what we're going to have to see. Eventually, he's going to have to make them pay. And when you think about Jackson Dart making strides in this league, what receiver he's going to go to? Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton is a wide receiver one once again for your New York Giants team. And I do think that he can be somewhat of a weapon. Darius Slayton can definitely be somewhat of a weapon. I love them as a wide receiver 2, not a wide receiver 1. That's why we drafted Malik Neighbors. But at the end of the day, Darius Slayton has done it in this league before. He's done it for this team before. And I'm hoping that we can see that once again. Help out Jackson Dart. We need our receivers to help the rookie quarterback. The rookie quarterback was accurate last week. He wasn't really inaccurate. You saw times that he held the ball for a bit and took a sack, but he's not trying to turn the ball over. I want to see Jackson Dart trust his arm a little bit more against this Saints defense. The Saints defense always end up playing hard. It doesn't matter really who's on that team. Demario Davis is still playing linebacker. Feels like he's been playing there for the last 10 years. They still have some stout players over there. But when you think about the scheme they like to run, they definitely make it hard for the opposing team, especially when you look at Josh Allen having a tough time against that Saints defense for a bit last week. So Jackson Dart has another tall task, especially with it being his first road game. He's going up against a tough crowd in New Orleans in that dome. And we know the dome has treated us well previously. We got a couple wins against the Saints the last couple of years. And that game last year was a funny one. I'll just be honest. But when you think about Jackson Dart making this start, man, the Saints defense is going to be tough. But if they play the way they played last week, I'm excited because we know Cam Skattebo is going to be a featured back once again. Cam Skattebo been balling. I'm just going to be honest. He's been playing well, and I'm looking to see him have another type of impact that he had last week. Tyrone Tracy is going to be out again, but I'm excited to see whenever he makes his way back, because then you'll have the best of both worlds, man. You got Tyrone Tracy and Cam Skattebo in that backfield. That's what we wanted ever since we drafted Skattebo, so we got to see it soon. When you think about the Giants playing the Saints team, a lot of people are feeling like the Giants should be winning this game, but Vegas is siding with New Orleans, man. I don't know if it's because of the Malik Neighbors injury. The Giants were once favored, and now they're not. If you're a betting man, are you betting on the Giants? Even if you're not a Giants fan, are you betting on the Giants heading into this matchup? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am. Giants are coming out with the W in this game, man. I wanted to drop a little preview on this, but the Giants are definitely going to be dropping with the W. You got other people predicting as well, but if you're signing with Vegas, man, you might as well take that plus 2.5. I believe the line is right now for the New York Giants. I do not promote gambling, though. Let me know what you think if the Giants are going to be able to get this W. I don't know if you guys can tell. I've been sick for the last week, so that's why there's been a lack of videos, especially coming after a W. Best believe the vibes have been high. Shout out to the Yankees getting it done against Boston yesterday as well. You already know we have to represent with the Yankees. Good vibes right now in New York. Let's hope to see it continue to trend, especially with our young rookie quarterback. I'm looking to see him make strides against this team, man. Sunday, 8:30 a.m. roll call is going to be in my guy TP Way the Giants channel for the Big Blue crossover. 8:30 a.m. live stream. Stay tuned for that. Hop over on this channel. We should be good to go live on that point. So wake up early. It's a Sunday morning roll call ahead of a Giants W. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Let me know your comments down below. Catch y'all. Peace.